On the 1st of September 2015, David de Gea was the best goalkeeper in England. Real Madrid wanted him, and everyone knew it was happening. Camera crews outside 2 training grounds, live blogs refreshing every few seconds, flight trackers trending. Bookmakers cut the odds so short they might as well have announced it. Millions of people followed one deadline day, hour by hour to its final minutes. And then nothing. The paperwork arrived late. Real Madrid blamed United. United blamed Real Madrid. Somewhere between the 2 fax machines, the transfer of a summer simply didn't happen. Yet, almost everyone still got paid. The papers got their front pages, the broadcasters got their ratings, the bookmakers kept their stakes, the accounts that broke every twist kept their new followers. A transfer that never happened made more money than most transfers that did. So if a transfer doesn't need to happen for everyone to profit, what exactly is the transfer market selling? So let's build a transfer from scratch. Imagine it's 8:30 in the morning. Nothing has happened, no bid has been made, no contract has been offered, no medical has been booked, the player hasn't packed a bag, the club hasn't opened the door, but one anonymous account posts one line. A Premier League winger is being discussed by a major European club. Player open to move, situation to watch. That's it. No name on the source, no proof, no club statement, just enough shape to feel like news, and just enough fog that nobody can kill it. And by 9 o'clock, the line has changed. An aggregator has rewritten it. A fan page has added a player's name. A club blog has turned it into a transfer battle. A betting site has moved the odds. A YouTube channel is now asking whether the club should cash in. By lunchtime, a mainstream article says the player is attracting interest, although no formal approach has been made. Still, nothing has actually happened, and that's the point. A transfer rumour doesn't actually need to be true to work. It only needs to stay long enough for everyone around it to take something from it. The rumour is a product before it's a report. And in football, a product doesn't have to be proven, it just has to move. So the real question about our made-up winger isn't whether the story is true. It's the question you should ask yourself about every rumour you'll read this summer. Who actually benefits? Start with the people closest to the money. Agents. Journalists need sources. Agents and clubs need channels. So the transfer story is often not a one side discovering the truth and the other side hiding it. It's more like a trade. Access for framing. Anonymity for information. A little bit of news for a little bit of usefulness. An agent might float another club's name to create pressure. A club might let interest leak to test fan reaction. A selling club might want a fantasy price in the press to anchor the negotiation. A buying club might want everyone to know it's looking elsewhere. Sometimes the rumour is a trial balloon. Sometimes it's a warning shot. Sometimes it's bait. And sometimes it's just fake interest designed to make the one real bidder feel less alone. You've watched this happen every summer for years. Kylian Mbappe spent half a decade linked with Real Madrid, and whether or not he ever asked for a single headline, every single one of them was leverage. By the time Paris made him the best paid player in the world, the rumour had done more work than any agent meeting could. Neymar's move to Paris worked the other way. A release clause everyone knew about became a story no one believed, right up until the day someone actually paid it. The rumours weren't noise around those deals, they were part of the machinery. This is why the phrase, "the player's camp says," can be so slippery. It sounds close to the player, but it can mean an agent, an advisor, a family member, or someone else with a reason to push a version of the story. The source might be real, the motive might be real, the information might still be bent. Football also has this huge grey area around contact before official contact. Tapping up is supposed to be the thing that you're not allowed to do, but by most accounts, it's so normal that people inside the game don't even agree on where the line really is anymore. One agent has said that the modern red line is direct contact with the player, not contact with the agent. So when a report says that personal terms are not expected to be a problem, that can sound like a guess, but in many deals, personal terms have already been explored before a formal bid appears. The public story is often the last room in a house that people have already walked through. The whisper isn't outside the deal. A lot of the time, it's one of the tools used to build it. The first person to make money from the rumour usually isn't the person who knows anything, it's the person who rewrites it the fastest. Our made up whisper starts as one vague post, then it becomes 5 versions of the same post, then 10. One site says the club is monitoring, another says they're weighing up a move, another says the player is open, another says the club could face competition. Monitoring doesn't mean bidding, weighing up doesn't mean deciding, open to a move doesn't mean asking for one. Could face competition doesn't mean there is competition. You can't prove any of it wrong, because none of it has quite said anything. If you want to see how long that language can keep a dead story alive, look at Frenkie de Jong. In the summer of 2022, Manchester United agreed a fee with Barcelona. For 3 months, the story was deal close, personal terms being finalised, expected to travel. Whole podcasts lived on it, daily updates all summer. The player, by most accounts, never wanted to leave. He ended up staying. And here's the thing, the coverage wasn't exactly wrong, it was just unfalsifiable. Every headline had been carefully built so that him not moving didn't kill the story. If he doesn't move today, it means talks are ongoing. If nothing happens this week, the club is expected to return. If the transfer window closes, the interest could be revived in January. The rumour doesn't die, it just changes tense. You can see the business model in plain sight. Sports Illustrated has run headlines like Real Madrid's Vinicius Jr. U-turn or Manchester United making a Tchouaméni bid. And at the bottom of that same football site, the footer says the content is for entertainment and educational purposes only. That's not a scandal by itself, but it is a clue. It looks like news. Very often it behaves like content. And content needs volume. One whisper can become a morning roundup, a club by club article, a tactical fit piece, a 5 things this means list, a live blog update, a push notification, and then a reaction video to the reaction. The factory doesn't need one true thing, it needs many clickable things, and the cheapest raw material in football is a sentence nobody can disprove yet. By mid-morning, the rumour has a new problem. People have seen too many versions of it. So now they ask the question that decides whether it grows or dies. Who said it? Not which outlet, which person. Football has built this strange trust ladder where the name attached to the claim often matters more than the company publishing it. Fans talk about reporters like referees, with their own histories, their own mistakes, their own patterns, their own little phrases that can either calm everyone down or set the whole place on fire. Fabrizio Romano built a following bigger than most newspapers by being around Milan, around hotels and restaurants, away from the official offices where he felt he wouldn't learn anything. And he says if someone feeds him false information now, his following is so big that he can actually expose the person who lied. That's the new modern threat, not private correction, public punishment. Fans nowadays now make reliability tables. The False 9, in one of those fan-made guides, splits transfer sources into tiers. Tier 1 is basically the near trusted level, the people fans think are almost certain when they speak. Tier 4 is the danger zone, the companies fans believe will say almost anything to pull you into advertising. That's a real document you can put on screen, and it's kind of amazing. The audience isn't just consuming the rumour machine, it's building a machine to defend itself from the machine. But that defense can be gamed. If a vague post is repeated by a bigger account, it feels stronger. If the bigger account is repeated by a club blog, it feels stronger again. If a national site in Spain or Italy reports, the original fog starts to look like smoke. This is rumour laundering. The claim moves up the ladder and each step strips away a little bit of the dirt from where it came. And it's been tested. There was an experiment where a made-up Diogo Dalot rumour was successfully pushed up to a national tabloid. It didn't break through every ceiling, it reportedly didn't reach Sky Sports News, but it got far enough to prove the basic trick. The rumour doesn't have to climb all the way to become useful, it just has to climb higher than where it started. Trust doesn't stop the machine, it just decides which rumours get promoted. Now the rumour reaches the place where it burns brightest, the fans. This is the bit everyone pretends is irrational, but it actually makes perfect sense. A transfer rumour gives you something very useful. It gives you a possible future. If your club is stale, the rumour is hope. If your club is selling, the rumour is panic. If your rival is involved, the rumour is comedy. If the player is famous, the rumour is status. If the player is unknown, the rumour is homework. And football fans are unbelievably good at homework. Within an hour, people are cutting clips, building pass maps, checking injury records, translating local reports, finding old interviews, studying flight trackers, judging body language, and arguing about whether the player fits the manager's shape. Ask Arsenal fans about January 2023. For weeks, Mikhailo Mudryk was theirs. Every Shakhtar training clip was analysed. His Instagram activity was read like scripture. Every like, every follow, every story with an Arsenal song in the background. They tracked flights that meant nothing, and then Chelsea walked in, paid more, and unveiled him the same weekend. All that homework, all that certainty, all that content for a transfer that went somewhere else. Nothing about the furnace cooled down, it just changed direction and burned at Chelsea instead. A rumour that everyone distrusts can still be popular. Distrust itself doesn't kill desire. You say, I don't believe this, and then you still talk about it for 20 minutes. And the platforms love that. Outrage works. Hope works. Mockery works. Quote posting a bad rumour to call it a bad rumour still spreads the rumour. The lie and the correction ride in the same car. It's become even worse now that fake images are easier to make. Research points to doctored or AI-generated transfer images like Mohamed Salah shown in an Al Ittihad shirt being used to make an unconfirmed story feel visually confirmed. The picture gives the rumour a body, and once a rumour has a body, fans react faster. They don't just read it, they see it. Spoof accounts understand this too. One fake account misspelled Aberdeen with 2 N's and still fooled a major broadcaster. Fans are a major part of this. They police it, rank it, laugh at it, expose it, but they're also the furnace that keeps it hot. A rumour doesn't need fans to trust it, it needs fans to feel something about it. Now, back to our made up winger whose name reaches the place where a whisper starts to look like money. The bookmaker. By late morning, fans notice the odds have shortened, and this is one of the most powerful tricks in the whole system, because betting odds feel like information. They look mathematical, they look calmer than a tweet, they look like someone knows something. But transfer odds can move because of a rumour, not truth. Bookmakers have been reported to scrape unverified rumours and inside chatter just to price markets before their competitors do. So the rumour moves the odds. Then the odds become evidence for the rumour, a circle with a cash register in the middle. A fan sees the price shorten and thinks maybe there's something in this. An aggregator posts the odds shift. A fan channel asks why the market is moving. Nobody has added proof, they've just added a number, and numbers travel well. The same way a stock chart makes a good guess look smart, an odds page makes a rumour look informed. Deadline week, August 2023, Moises Caicedo is going to Liverpool. A British record bid accepted, odds collapsing. Overnight the market flips. The player says no, he only ever wanted Chelsea. Within a day, the record fee belongs to a different club. The odds were never a window into the boardroom, they were a scoreboard of bets. Because the bookmaker's job isn't to certify reality, it's to attract bets and react faster than the next bookmaker. If enough people bet on our made up winger, the odds move even if he's on a beach ignoring his phone. So now the rumour has crossed from speech into price. Nothing has happened in football, but something has happened in the market. And in the rumour factory, movement gets treated like proof. By afternoon, the story has climbed high enough to get cleaned up. The mainstream version doesn't say the deal is happening, it says the player is admired. The club has considered the profile. No formal offer has been made. Every sentence has its own escape hatch. Harry Kane's summer of 2021 was the masterclass. A whole window of he's told the club he wants to leave. A gentleman's agreement. City preparing a bid. And at the end of it, no confirmed offer, no transfer, and Kane announcing on his own Twitter that he was staying. Months of respectable coverage built on language with exits pre-installed. To be fair, some of that is responsible journalism. Deals collapse, medicals fail, a verbal agreement isn't a contract, but the hedge also protects the product. There is an interest, not a bid. One to watch, not one who is moving. Reports abroad suggest, not we know. Official documents are different, and you can feel it the moment one appears. When Messi wanted to leave Barcelona in 2020, the whole saga suddenly turned on a burofax, a legally registered letter from the player. Not sourcing, not spin, paper. A year later he was gone for free, and when LA Galaxy announced the signing but said the terms would only come out after a league tampering investigation, that wasn't transfer theatre either. This was football fact, not football language. Even the boring rules shape the stories. Sky Sports News once explained that a loan with an obligation to buy needs enough genuine doubt in it for UEFA to accept the permanent move wasn't guaranteed from day one. That's not gossip, that's the accounting underneath the romance. Because transfers are sold as romance, the player wants the move, the manager loves him, the club swoops. The real engine is usually accounting. Contract structure, wage space, resale value, financial rules. Football leaks showed the gap between transfer talk and the documents underneath. Reported fees were wrong. Players' economic rights were quietly split between investors and companies, and the man who leaked it was prosecuted, not celebrated. So while the public argues about whether the winger tracks back, the real decision is whether the numbers fit the right year under the right rule. The clean headline covers a messy ledger. By the time a rumour becomes respectable, it hasn't become pure, it's just learnt better grammar. Then comes the strangest part of the day. The clubs say nothing, and the silence feeds it. A denial means it needed denying. No comment means something. A training photo gets its caption read. A like, a follow, a deleted post. The machine turns all of it into clues. Official silence should be the absence of information. In transfer season, it's treated as information without words. And clubs use that, because they're not just football teams anymore, they're media operations. They float names to test the room. They leak bids to show ambition. They place prices in the press to make the other side look unreasonable. And our imaginary winger probably hasn't done any of this. He may not want the move. He may not even know that his name is being used. It barely matters. The anonymous account has grown. The aggregator has filled a page. The bookmaker has priced the market. The journalist has written a careful piece. The agent has created pressure. Everyone got something, and nothing actually happened. The truth arrives late to a party that has already sold its tickets. Which brings us back to the beginning of the video, that September night in 2015. The cameras, the flight trackers, the fax machines, the transfer that never happened. It wasn't a failure of the system. It was the system, working perfectly. 12 hours of product, no delivery required. Every summer, football tells us that the transfer market is about buying players. It isn't. The real product is uncertainty. Every rumour creates clicks. Every click creates money. And every pound creates another rumour. By the time a transfer is confirmed, the business has already been done. The rumour factory doesn't sell facts first. It sells the feeling that a fact might be coming. I really enjoyed making this video. If you liked it too, and if you've made it this far, then I assume you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It motivates me to keep doing what I enjoy doing. It's free, and it means that you guys will get more videos just like this.